Today we're going to be taking a look at how you can add Tailwind to your Rails application using Stimulus JS. So I'll be covering how we can add the option to toggle back and forth between our light and dark modes, while also including the quick option that will default to your user's preferences automatically. You'll also be able to find the code snippets you'll need linked in a blog post in the GitHub repo. And now, without further ado, let's start on the road to dark mode. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new Rails app with our Rails new command. We're going to use the CSS flag. We're going to pass Tailwind to it. That's going to create a new Rails app for us and have Tailwind already installed and ready to go. All right, we could do that with Rails new Tailwind dark mode. Pass our Tailwind flag. That's going to create a new Rails app using import maps by default. And once this is done, we'll move into that directory and we should be ready to go. Okay, so we have a new Rails app. We have Tailwind installed. Before we move on, I'm just going to add a simple controller just to render a single view, and we're going to update that view to be our root route. So we could do that with our Rails generate controller command, bin Rails. And this is just going to create a static controller with the single index along with all the views that we need also. We could take a look at the generated controller here. This is our controller, and then we take a look at the view. This is our basic view. And before moving on, static index. Okay, so we should be able to start our server up, go to localhost 3000, and see our static index page that we just created. Great, so everything is enabled. We have a view to start adding some of our Tailwind dark mode styles too, and we're ready to move on to the next step. All right, now that we have our index view, we're going to add some Tailwind styles to it. This is just kind of a simple hero element, but it's just something that we're going to add our dark mode styles to start being able to toggle that back and forth. So we'll head back over to that file that we created. If I can spell it correctly, go, and just paste some of the code here. The code is available on the blog post and in GitHub as well. Got that. And now take a look at this, and we have a much better a much more Tailwind static view here. So now we have everything. We need to start adding some of the dark mode variants here. So Tailwind has a couple of different options for using dark mode styling. One is to use the media strategy, where it'll take a look at your browser or your operating system to see if you have a dark mode preference set. If so, it's going to use that by default. This option doesn't let you toggle back and forth. It will just take a look at whatever you currently have set and use that. So if you're not looking for the option to be able to kind of toggle back and forth between light and dark mode, this would really be all that you would have to do. And we could see what that would look like by just adding a dark variant style to our body tag. That's going to be in our application layout. And we'll do that. Slate is always a good choice, so we'll background slate 800. Okay, so we save this. Because I have dark mode as my operating system and my browser preference, when we go back here and take a look, we should see this white section all is our new slate background color. All right, we have that option, but let's say that we would like to be able to toggle back and forth. The first thing we need to do is we need to update one setting in our Tailwind config file. And take a look at that here, and we need to add dark mode selector. You may notice that Copilot was suggesting class prior to Tailwind, I believe it's version 3.4, you use the class option instead of the selector. Selector is the current one, so this is what you need to add now. So if we add this and we go back, we'll take a look at what we have. This is going to break our current styling. Tailwind has a very nice little snippet that we need to add to our header to help with these flashes of unstyled content. So we're going to head back to our application, HTML ERB. We're going to paste in the script that Tailwind gives us. It's very helpful. Something, I don't know. Okay, so we have this in our header now. When we refresh, we should see everything go back to the dark mode styling. Okay, great. So we still don't have the option to toggle, but now we've kind of fixed what we've broken previously. And all we need to add now is a stimulus controller and a button to be able to toggle back and forth between our light and dark modes. Now we need to add some type of button to toggle back and forth between our light and our dark mode styles. So I'm going to create a new partial. It's going to be within a shared directory. I've already created this directory, but let's go and create a simple ERB button. It's going to have two SVGs that we're going to flip back and forth, but depending on which value that we have set. View, shared, dark mode. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste in the code from the example repos. This is just a basic ERB button tag. Right now, there's nothing really specific to this. All it really has is just two SVGs, one for the light and the dark mode, and an ID. So right now, there's nothing Tailwind or there's nothing dark mode specific about this yet. So now that we've created this, let's head back to our good friend, the application layout. Okay, and we're going to add our dark mode toggle and just a couple of styles here just to make it look a little bit nicer. So you should always be dubious of Copilot suggestions. And now we go back, refresh, and we have our button. Now that we have our button, we need to create a stimulus controller that we're going to connect to the button and use to toggle on and off between our light and our dark styles. So we could do that with our Rails generator command. And let's call it dark mode. Okay, we take a look at the controller that was generated. We see it's going to connect to the dark-mode controller, something that I tend to run into. I kind of forget that a lot, so I'm going to go and add this now right to our body, and that's just going to be dark mode. So this new stimulus controller is going to be connected to the body. So we should be able to just go here, log this, and should see that within our console. Great. So all that is hooked up. Our stimulus controller is connected. Now we're ready to add a couple of our methods here. We don't need our console login here anymore. But what we do need is we do need this small snippet here that's going to take a look at our local storage and check to see if there's an existing color theme already set. Okay, so this is just going to check our local storage to see if we have a color theme set. Kind of this along the same lines as that script is doing that we added to the header earlier in the video. And we're We're going to add a single method called toggle theme. Before implementing the toggle theme method, I'm going to add some of these static targets that we're going to be using to attach to some of the elements to either hide or show based on the current state, basically if we're using dark or light mode. Added this. Now I'm going to add the code here for the toggle theme. And if you take a look at this, the majority of the code is just doing the same check in the local storage. It's looking for that color theme. If it is there, it's trying to set that. If not, it's trying to basically discern what theme you're trying to default to. The main thing that we really want to look at here is right up at the top. We're taking the light icon target. We're toggling whether it's hidden or not. So if it is hidden and we toggle, it will be visible. And if it's visible, we toggle, it'll be hidden. Now I'm going to update our dark mode toggle HTML with the stimulus elements that we need to connect everything. So I'm going to add our data here, and actually just move this to a new line to make it a little bit easier. So we're going to do dark mode target, and that is going to be our theme toggle, and our action is going to be click dark mode, and our method is going to be toggle theme. This should attach our theme toggle target and give it an action to run whenever it's clicked. The last thing that we need to do is add our dark mode target, dark icon, and add our light icon, ligget icon. Close enough. All right, so with any luck, we should be able to navigate back to our browser, refresh the page. We should have a working dark mode toggle. Okay, and here we have a working dark mode switch. I hope you all found this video useful and are now off and running with dark mode on your very own site. I plan on making more of these videos in the future. So if there are any other topics or features you'd like me to cover, please reach out and let me know.